Hello, in today's tutorial we're going to go through the differences between warrior 1, 2, and 3. The Sanskrit word for warrior is Virabhadrasana. So we do Virabhadrasana 1, 2, and 3. Now these are classic yoga poses that we do in a lot of our flow classes or even our hatha classes. So they're nice poses to know for your foundation. You're welcome just to watch the tutorial, or you can also practice along with me. I will allow some time for that if you'd like. So we'll start with, I'm going to show you the 3 poses really quickly, and then we'll actually go through them and break them down. So warrior 1, hips are square to the front of the mat, and arms go up overhead. Warrior 2, your hips are squared or turned to the side of the mat, and arms are out. And warrior 3 is a balancing pose. So there they are. So let's actually break those down now. So warrior 1 stretches your arms, shoulders, your back, your legs, and your ankles. It's great at strengthening the ankles, the feet, the arms, and also the back. So for warrior 1, you want your hips to be square to the front of the room. So typically you would start standing at the top of your mat, and then we would step a foot back. So we're going to, in this case, I'm going to show you with the right foot forward and left foot back. So your right foot will be forward, your left foot will step back, and your feet are more than hip distance apart in this pose. So the wider your stance is, the more stable you're going to be, your base will be. So the closer your stance is, it'll be more wobbly. So I always recommend really widen that stance out. Take up that mat, take up that space. So your front leg is going to be bent, and it probably won't be quite 90 degrees, but it'll be bent to your degree. And then your back foot leg will be straight, and your back foot will be turned at about a 45-degree angle. Hips will be square to the front of your mat, the best that you can do. And again, when you're first starting out, this may be harder, so you may be more here in the middle, and you will eventually be able to turn here. And then the arms will go up overhead, or there's other arm variations with the arms behind. So the arms are not quite as important here. Is really this strong, solid foundation, and you'll really start to feel a stretch here in the hamstrings especially. So this is warrior 1. So again, your hips are square to the front of the room, and your feet are wider than hip distance apart on the mat. Front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Now for warrior 2. Warrior 2 is a different pose. Warrior 2, your hips are turned to the side of the mat. So now you're no longer turned this way, you're turned sideways, and you're really opening up through here. Warrior 2 is great for stretching your hips, the calves, the shoulders. It will strengthen your shoulders, your quads, and also your hamstrings. So again, this front leg will still be bent forward, and your back leg will still be straight, but the difference here is you're going to have a heel to arch alignment. What that means is your front heel will intersect, if you drew a line, would intersect back to your arch of your back foot. So your heel of your front foot is in line with the back arch of your back foot. And again, and here you really want to try to go deeper, and I would also suggest having a wider stance here too, so you can go a little deeper. So some people are here, but eventually over time you're working to really go deep as possible without extending the knee over that front foot. So you're going more for a 90-degree angle here. The arms can also have different variations, but one of the most common ones is straight out to the side, so that you're looking out over your right and your left arm is shooting out the other way. So you're just shooting energy out, both arms, really rising up out of the pelvis. It's also really important here to not be dumping over to the front. You want to be straight up here. So pulling yourself up nice and tall while bending this knee. So here's your warrior 2. It's a nice, stable, strong foundational pose here. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about warrior 3, which warrior 3 is a little bit more of a challenging pose. It is a balancing pose. I suggest block a wall space, a chair, something to help if you're first starting with this one. Warrior 3 is great for stretching your hips, your groin, your hamstrings, your quads, ankles, and your shoulders. And it will strengthen the abs and the quads and the hamstrings, glutes, ankles, shoulders. So they're all do a little bit of everything there. So with warrior 3, again, a modification would be with a block to help you. So you'll balance on one foot, and I'm going to go ahead and balance on the right foot on this one. So I'm just showing you just the one side. Obviously, when we do the poses, you do the other side. So you'll stand tall, and then You can have your arms to your side to begin with. This makes it easier. And you'll start to tilt forward. And as you bring that other leg, your left leg, back behind you. And now you're looking for your body to look like a T. That's the idea. You can bring your hands to prayer at your chest to make it even harder. You bring them forward. Or as a modification, use a chair or a block to help hold you in this pose. This is a propped warrior 3, I should say. So this is a nice one to use to help you balance when you're still learning. And then eventually, maybe you'll find that spot, find a gaze, and come up. So that back foot is stretched up. You're trying to have a nice long line between your head and the back foot. So that one is more challenging. And again, you can always modify with blocks, chair, or wall. So let's just do a quick little run through those one more time and see if you want to practice with me. So let's try warrior 1. So warrior 1, step forward with that right foot. Actually, we'll do the left foot just to show you the other way. So I'll step foot with my left foot up. My right foot is back, 45-degree angle. Hips are square to the front of the room. Arms are reaching up overhead, or they can be down on your sides or behind you. There's variations there. So there's warrior 1. Go ahead and try that one out. Make sure your hips are squared, front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Now we're going to open up into warrior 2. So go ahead and bring this front foot forward some. Step that the right foot back behind you, if you're practicing with the left foot. Get your heel to arch alignment, so your front bent leg, that foot, that heel will intersect the arch if you drew a line to your back foot. And then come up here into your warrior 2 with your arms outstretched and really feel that energy radiate out from both of your hands. Coming out of your pelvis and not dumping forward, standing straight and tall here. And there's your warrior 2. Bent knee from the front, back leg is straight. And then lastly, let's try that warrior 3 pose. Again, use a prop if you need. I'm going to balance on my left foot this time. And when I feel ready, when you feel ready and steady, go ahead and tilt forward, bringing that right foot behind you. Arms up to the side or at prayer or the block. Making sure you're balancing and looking at something out in front of you and breathing here. You're trying to keep your back foot pointed toward the ground the best you can, with the hips squared toward this hip toward the ground the best you can. And release that. And that was just a really quick tutorial going through warrior 1, 2, and 3. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.